Are you ready for some football? After what seems like an eternity, it's finally back. There were a few games last week, but for most teams, the season kicks off in the next few days. I am so excited to see my teams take the field. The North Carolina Tar Heels, the Lenoir Bears, and the Carolina Panthers. Well, and I guess the South Carolina Gamecocks, but that's just because one of my daughters went there and the other one's there now. But if I'm being completely honest, I probably shouldn't be as excited as I am. USC and UNC are middle of the pack at best, and the Panthers are in the midst of a rebuilding year. More like a rebuilding decade. And this year, Lenoir, my alma mater, has a new coach. So we don't know how good they're going to be or if they'll be any good at all. Now, win or lose, I love my teams. But there's one game that makes me really nervous every year. It's when LR takes on Newberry College. For me, it's more than just a rivalry game between the two Lutheran schools in North and South Carolina. I used to serve a church in Newberry. My wife graduated from there. So when my Bears play her Wolves in Newberry, I'm often nicely told that we'll be sitting on the home side. Me, decked out in all of my Lenoir gear, surrounded by thousands of people, well, hundreds of people, who all hope that my team falls flat on their face. Every time I want to scream, they cheer. Every time I want to cheer, I do it as quietly as possible. I'm not dumb. But either way, it drives me nuts. I'm not what you would call a silent fan. I tend to be pretty vocal about what's happening on the field, good or bad. So the fact that I have to sit there and take it while everyone around me is rooting against my beloved Bears, no matter how the game's going, I feel like I'm going to explode. And so after a while, I usually end up going to the other side of the field to be with my people. Even if you're not a sports fan, most folks can relate to this. People today aren't just separated by their favorite teams. We're often surrounded by those who look different, act different, vote different, sound different, or who are just generally different. Sometimes this makes us uncomfortable. Sometimes it drives us completely nuts. So what we do is that we seek to be around the safety and security of our own people. But you know what? When the clock runs out at the Newberry-Lenoir game, when it's all over, either my team won or they lost. I'm either thrilled by the outcome or horribly disappointed. Yet ultimately, it doesn't matter. Those people on the other side, the ones who were driving me crazy just moments before, as it turns out, I know many of them. I love many of them. As passionate as I am for my team, and even though they may give me a little grief if the Wolves beat the Bears, at the end of the day, they're just teams. Our allegiances may be different, but under the hats and the jerseys and the face paint, we're really the same. Beloved children of God. Look, it's not just football. Whether it's our race, our gender, our sexuality, our ethnicity, our social status, our political views, behind all of that, when it's all said and done, we are all beloved children of God. So ultimately, that's all that matters, because that's our true team. I'm Pastor Stephen Mims, and that's your Word for Wednesday. May God bless you.